So the first episode, well, not just the first episode, the whole series dropped on the 27th.
Now hold on.
And
Before we even get to that, do you think that's strange?
okay, I have opinions about that. And first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say this to everybody. All right, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of another relaunch.
Hey.
I am LZ.
Hey, everybody. I'm Keenan.
And welcome back. It's been a minute.
It has been. How are you?
I am fantastic. Some exciting things have been happening with me since the last time I've been on here, chatting with everybody.
We love that. We love
some
excitement.
Awesome things with some of my favorite characters. We'll be talking about that today, obviously.
Yes, I'm sure. So I'm sure it's actually been like on the tip of everybody's mind. Like what's going on in his mind right now?
I know. I feel like a lot of people who know me, I'm probably the only Wonder Man fan that they know. So they probably associate him with me. So
literally, I know I do. I always vaguely remember Wonder Man from like some Avengers comics and stuff that I have read in the past. But I was like, oh, he looks cool. The suit's kind of hot. The powers are good, but I couldn't tell you anything about that. But then I met you, and it was like, oh, Wonder Man's my favorite character. And you know how they say that there's that saying that it's like every character has someone that loves them. And it's like, who am I to talk about that? Because Lord knows I live on the D list. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, Wonder Man. That's me, yeah. It's just like, oh, you came in and you're like, oh yeah, I love Wonder Man. And I'm just like, Wonder Man. And I'm just like thinking like,
he's got it.
Wonder Man. What does he do? But I can only ever think of like that one panel of, what's her name, Wanda, when she's like clawing down his skin and it looks like she goes to kind of scratch his pee-pee.
No, that's what she did,
Yeah.
She
nasty lady
scratched it off, but the original version, it was her performing some sexual acts on him in the middle. It's a lot. Comic book artists will never be able to hide their perversions. Ever.
And that is why the comics code of authority exists. Because of stuff like
that. Very much that. But this week, y'all, we will be talking about the first episode of Wonder Man. Normally, we will get into the news of the week and comics and all that kind of stuff. We'll be doing that next week. But this first episode coming back here, we wanted to just go ahead and get into what's going on with Wonder Man. So the first episode, well, not just the first episode, the whole series dropped on the 27th.
Now hold on. Before we even get to that, do you think that's strange?
Okay, I have opinions about that. And first of all, I'm gonna go ahead and say this to everybody. Spoiler alert, we're gonna be spoiling stuff here. We're talking about everything openly. So skip ahead if you're not into the spoilers. But I personally feel like Wonder Man is not a typical superhero show. And by typical superhero show, I mean this is something you find on the CW where it's just villain of the week, the characters fighting or whatever and using their powers and doing that kind of stuff. This isn't a CW show. So because of that, I don't know if general audiences would have paid attention to everything week by week. This series was about Simon Williams. It wasn't really about Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm.
It was about Simon and his character, how he is trying to follow his own dreams while also living up to the things of everything around him and, hiding his powers and stuff. So I don't know if people would have been, there was no mystery about what's going on in this world the way it was with WandaVision and her and her powers, or so there wasn't something where there was a draw for it to be weekly, in my opinion. So I don't know if.
So you're okay with the 8 episode binge drop?
Only because I have seen the series in its totality.
Okay. But you weren't before.
I was not before. It was
Okay.
getting racist before.
Okay. Well, now that you've seen the show, you feel like the 8-episode drop was best.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. Whereas Ironheart was weekly released, right?
I think they did like
I
3
think
and
she had
3.
6 episodes. Oh right. It was 3 and 3. See, never mind there.
But I think
'Cause I thought they had like some intrigue.
I think
and stuff where you
Echo
could
got
kind
dropped all at once, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I think so.
I don't really remember that.
That was another spotlight character. I know that. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pattern though.
Yeah, it truly was. So that's why I felt the way about it prior to actually watching the show. But having seen it, I don't know if a weekly release would have been as beneficial for the show.
Okay. That's fair.
I do think that certain episodes may have stood out more had it been weekly. Like, I'm going to tell y'all, I did cry in this. There were
You've been so
a few
emotional over the
moments.
last few years. It's crazy.
You know, I think I'm just into my emotions.
Okay, that's good.
This is
We
why
like that.
I felt like this show was kind of almost made specifically for me. Like it
Yeah.
was made for me because there were 2 moments in this show that really made me tear up. Obviously, we'll talk about them later, but they had to do with something that happened with his mom at her birthday party, just explaining to how his young Simon was kind of quiet and kind of comes to himself. And she was like, you know, I kind of thought that he had his acting and that he wasn't really alone, even though he never really said it. That got to me, and just stuff with basically anything with the parents. I really liked that stuff with him and his parents. But again, even me just describing that was more of like an emotional thing. It wasn't like big superhero fight that I think people would have tuned into
or expected from this type of show, which is fair. But
exactly.
With that, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, tell us the first episode, because I'm very excited to hear like what you thought of it. First of all, I was always going to tune into the show. My man is in it, and he looks amazing.
Ooh.
So it was like that was always very exciting to see. Yeah, go ahead.
Wow, what a man! And I'm always gonna say how awesome it is that my actor who I wanted to play Wonder Man ended up playing him.
You actually have been saying this for like
job.
You've been saying that for like a long time now. I remember when you first brought that up. He was like, "Oh, I think he should be Wonder Man," and I was just like, "What?" But like, it makes sense.
I saw the vision.
From what everyone can always say about Wonder Man, and like from what I've heard from the people who know him or who don't know a lot about him, one thing they'll always say is that he's supposed to be hot. Like, he's an actor. Like, he looks good. The cameras are on him. And so it was like, yeah, they got the perfect person to do that.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
but yeah, let's get into this first episode. So this first episode was written by Andrew Guest, who I think he wrote most of the show.
ooh.
And I know he was also the showrunner. He did some other Marvel shows too. Oh, he did Hawkeye. He was the producer on
I
Hawkeye.
like Hawkeye.
I did too.
It's
I thought
good.
it was a really well done show. Yeah, I was like kind of shocked because I don't really care about Hawkeye, but like the show was
Same.
good.
It was like, so what I have realized about Hawkeye though is that while I don't really care about like him as a character, I do love a lot of his like stories. But I think it's because like
Isn't that crazy?
he has like also really good designs too. And so it's like the designs draw me in, and then it's like, okay, like all the people in the stories are like good and interesting things are happening. I just don't really like Clint, which is like such a weird thing. I like
Right.
Kate,
And they do always kind of give him
she's
moments
fine.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
She all right. Sometimes it's just fun to have a sassy girl.
Okay.
I'm basic that way sometimes. Sometimes the sassy girl is fun. Emphasis on sometimes, though. There's also just sometimes.
Okay.
So this first episode was written by Andrew Guest, and it was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who was also, I think he also was a producer on the show. He pushed for Wonder Man to get made. I
I
believe
didn't
he
know
had
that.
like this. He had this deal with Marvel to get some projects made. I'm not sure if people remember. He was supposed to be doing Avengers Kang Dynasty before, but things happened,
Yeah.
and that movie no longer happened for him. And my assumption is that his deal was obviously still honored, so they just kind of let him do some other projects. So they put him on Spider-Man, and he pushed to have Wonder Man.
And he directed
because he said he
Shang-Chi.
was a big fan of Wonder Man. He also directed Shang-Chi. I think that was what kind of like gave him the keys or to do
Shang-Chi
whatever he
was
kind of
hot.
wanted to, or them to work with him. It was really, really good. And which kind of makes me excited for Spider-Man, which is wild because I don't really care about Spider-Man. He just gets a lot of content, so like you kind of always he's just always there. But if you were to take like Shang-Chi and Wonder Man and combine that into like whatever he's going to do for a Spider-Man movie, I think it's going to be pretty good. Spider-Man kind of won again.
We'll see. I mean, I think it'll be a good movie,
Yeah.
but we'll just see.
You think that girl going to be Jean?
Like, I kind of wanted to
We'll
be.
see.
I wanted to be Typhoid Mary because
that'd be fun.
I think that would be fun. But I mean, I don't know. The streets are saying she's Jean, so she might just be Jean. But that just makes
We'll
me
see.
more interested to see what they're going to give her Storm.
Right. That's crazy. The X-Men are coming up. Well, we've got a long way to go, y'all. We'll be talking about some things for sure. But this first episode was called Matinee, and we meet Simon. He is on set, looking great, and going over some lines, doing a little bit too much.
Oh my
On
gosh, I
set.
got
Not only on
such
set, but like going up to his lines.
secondhand embarrassment from that scene. I'm sorry, I had to say. Like, I kind of wanted to like mute my TV for a second. I was like, brother, please stop talking.
He just really wants to get into, the mind of the character. He feels like he can't
Too much tequila.
act if he isn't really like, into the mind of the character. And I thought this was interesting. Instantly for me, as a Wonder Man fan, I picked up on the comic book things that they picked up from him. Wonder Man takes like acting seriously, but people don't take him seriously when he's acting. Wonder Man, except in the moments where he actually does get his big break with things and people actually do start to believe in him. He's the kind of actor who would, say he preferred to do something serious over just a run-of-the-mill, say whatever BS movie. But with Wonder Man, that's the thing that kind of like, say he started his acting bug in the MCU anyway. So I did kind of like the parallels to Simon in the comics where he takes acting seriously. Like that is his craft. He enjoys it a little too seriously.
That's what we saw.
Yeah. I also thought it was great that the role that he was taking too seriously was a part on American Horror Story.
That he was
Imagine
about to
his character
die.
was like getting killed.
Like,
Yeah.
like you're about to be eaten.
You weren't going to be in that alone. Why does it matter what book you pick up? Like, just say the lines and get paid.
No, that's not enough for him. That's not, like you say, he takes it serious. You're dying. You got to die with purpose, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
and you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking your craft seriously. If you like something, take it serious.
That's
Nothing wrong with
fair.
that.
Just don't get
There's
fired.
nothing wrong with it because they're fighting.
I was saying, just don't get fired.
They let him go. He gets let go from American Horror Story. Sad day for Simon. He leaves, goes home. His girlfriend is packing up her shit and leaving. She was not expecting him to be home so soon because she was just going to take her stuff and leave without saying nothing, I guess. But she was like, you never let me in. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. They broke up. He was like, this is crazy. We was just talking about, you was just showing me dogs and stuff and all this, like what's going
And
on.
she was like, "Yeah,
And
sorry."
and left. And that was it. And what does Simon do? But, he decides to go and see a movie, take himself out, get his mind off of everything going on, goes to see a movie. I thought it was funny to see all the LA like landmarks and stuff that they're showing as he's driving around, which I thought was really cool because a lot of times I'd be like, oh my God, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
He goes to the movie theater, the parking spot situation. I've been there, Simon. Parking out here doesn't make any sense, even though everybody drives, so you would expect there to be better parking because everybody got a car, but whatever. LA doesn't really have makes a lot of sense. But he gets out, he goes and see a movie, and who was in the movie theater but Trevor Slattery. Now, we all know him from Iron Man 3 as well as Shang-Chi. He was the Mandarin, or he played the Mandarin. And he's being a little rude in the movie theater. He's on his phone.
Terrible movie etiquette.
Truly, Simon comes up to him and he's like, oh my gosh, you were the terrorist guy. Imagine he's on the phone. He's telling people how he's got this big audition coming up. Like, I've got this big audition. Everything's going to change for me. This is going to be great. After the movie, Simon comes up to Trevor and is like, what were you on the phone talking about? Like, what's going on? What is the big audition for? And he was like, oh, this is an audition for Wonder Man. They're remaking it. And he's like, what? They're remaking it? He's like, yes. And it's going to be done by Von Kovac, who is supposed to be this, big Hollywood director. They talk about how he's won Oscars and stuff before. They show Wonder Man. He hasn't been Wonder Man yet, so I'm going to call him Simon. I know.
The people know what you're saying. Simon, it's fine. You can say
it. Simon, basically, Wonder Man was like his childhood favorite movie. One of his inspirational heroes growing up who he watched on the big screen. So he is like, I have to be in this movie. He goes to his agent and he's like, burst into one of our meetings and is like, was anybody going to tell you on Wonder Man? And she was like, I didn't tell you because you just got fired from American Horror Story 1. 2, looking for you, looking for somebody else. I thought that was interesting. He has some pretty solid representation, for him to be an actor out here.
Yeah.
It takes a while for people to even get some pretty good representation, and having an agent who will have these kinds of meetings and setting up stuff for you. So he's got a pretty solid agent. Also, this story completely changed. I don't know if anybody out there had been following me, but I obviously had been following this Wonder Man thing and this Wonder Man show and them making it. And there was a completely different cast for this show. Before the writer's strike and before that thing went on. I'm not sure if people remember, but I can't remember his name. But the actor who played Better Call Saul, he was originally supposed to be Simon's agent.
Oh.
Then they recast him with this other guy because I guess he pulled out for whatever kind of reason. They recast him with this other guy who was going to be Simon's agent. I think that version of the movie followed Simon's comic story a little closer, meaning in comics, in Simon's solo, his first solo, he had an agent who was basically a villain who, I wouldn't say he was a villain. He was just trying to get money. So I guess still a villain. He was Simon's agent, and he would basically you know how sometimes we hear about celebrities calling TMZ to show up to places because they just want TMZ to be there. He would call or pay villains to fight Wonder Man because Simon as an actor wasn't bringing in like the attention and the gigs. But Wonder Man, the superhero, was people liked Wonder Man, the superhero. So he would like randomly hire villains to come and attack Simon randomly. And I think that the original show was going to follow that, where Simon was going to be, you know,
Just getting attacked
trying to make it
randomly
as an
by these
actor,
people.
but getting attacked. Exactly. And I think I kind of like the way that they changed it to this, because they ended up making it much more about Simon and less about the antics that come with him being superpowered.
Yeah, I really liked a lot of the like changes to the show. The agent was great. I feel like their rapport, the chemistry between the two of them was really great. It felt like a real agent thing. I also think, like, in terms of Simon's acting, they also make it a point to be like that he is a good actor. Like, even during the American Horror Story thing, they said they were like, oh, he had a great audition. So it's like her being like, yeah, you definitely probably could get this Wonder Man thing, but it's like you just messed something else up. Like, we got to talk about that first. Like, there's other things. Their whole dynamic was cool. I'm excited to see more of them.
Yeah, exactly. Because we need that season 2 announcement. So we find out that Simon is going to make his way into that Wonder Man audition any way he knows how. So he basically gets the info in his agent's her email, calls up there, uses a fake voice to be like, you know, hey, I'm sending over Simon to come and audition for it so he can get his name on the list. He shows up at the door and he's got to, you know, sign the NDAs for all this and all the other paperwork when you audition. But there's also this thing called a doorman clause to prove that you, sort of say that you don't have powers. He signs it, or at least takes a copy, and it's like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I'm gonna sign it or whatever. But like, we obviously know that he has powers.
I like that scene because too, it did one of those things that was like, you know, the guy was like, you don't have superpowers, do you? And he never answers. It's just like, gives him a look, just takes the paper and keeps it moving. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just not gonna say anything.
He was just like, oh, you got a pair? like answering the question.
Love that.
So Simon shows up to the audition, and the room is, or the hallway or whatever, is filled with a bunch of guys who are ready to audition for this movie. We don't really know exactly which role everybody is really auditioning for, whether it's Wonder Man or Barnaby, who is Wonder Man's like sidekick in this movie. But the hallway's filled with actors. Everybody's trying to figure out like what they're going to be doing. They hear all this stuff coming out of the room about this like laughter, and basically Slattery is killing it. This other actor is like, hey, Simon, like the guy that's in there right now, like he's probably got the part. Slattery comes out. He sees that something's wrong with Simon. He's like, let's talk with you. It's like something's going on. He doesn't really say it, but I think even early at that moment, he knew that like Simon may have been enhanced, or like how he would kind of prove it. We know why he might be feeling that way in a bit, because they leave the audition. Simon does go in, get his audition. He says the part. He, in my opinion, ate it. I thought it was great.
It was really good. Like, even from just like
he gives this monologue.
Like an actor acting as an actor, like, it was hot.
but as an actor,
it was just like, oh,
actor acting.
Like, it's just like, wow, like, this is like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, I thought his monologue was really well done. I thought he did great. He leaves the audition. Him and Trevor decide to get dinner. And they basically like, you know, chat whatever while they're at dinner. Simon leaves, and I think it was at that point where we find out that Slattery has been working with the Department of Justice. Not the Department of Justice. I mean, maybe.
At this point, it's the same people.
Okay. The Department of Damage Control. And because he is like on the phone with this Agent Cleary, and he's like, you know, I don't really see nothing. He's not glowing. Like, I don't know what's up. And he's like, you need to be watching him because Simon is like dangerous. He's super powered. And Simon is on the other line. He sees a Von Kovac star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He takes a picture of it. He's like, hey, look, Trevor, look at what I just saw. Like, this might be like destiny because I just saw this thing. It's fate.
Just a setup.
And meanwhile, Trevor's setting you up. So that is where the episode kind of ends. And I personally thought that it was a fantastic first episode to a TV series.
Agreed. Like, really, really just like, it was well written. It was charming. It was like humorous. It was like interesting. Like, and again, this is someone who doesn't really know anything too much about Simon Williams' personal life or like the character or the story, anything like that. If it still felt like, oh, this is a Simon Williams Wonder Man story. I know that he's a big celebrity. I know that he likes to act. I'm kind of familiar with that type of scenario from Dazzler. She also has a similar story. You know, she should actually show up in this. That would be hot.
That would be cool.
And they can bring back Black Dazzler.
Season
2. I love it. Yeah, I will now be supporting that movement. But no, the show was like, it is great. Like, it feels different. And it's one of those things I feel like the MCU has been trying to be a little bit more, trying to let their directors have a little bit more free reign in the story and like the writers and like really just like tune into the story. And like, it doesn't always work out that well for them, but here it feels like it's doing very, very well. And like, this is the perfect person again to play this type of role of what they need.
Absolutely. I think that most people don't really know Wonder Man. But to the people that did know him, it seems as if they were also in the room creating this show because it does feel like a very Simon Williams kind of show. Most people know that he is an actor. They know that he is super powered, but they don't really know Simon or like him as a character. So I think that they were able to really get into that mindset and really kind of show Simon's character outside of just being an actor. We see, you know, how he can take things a little bit too seriously or that he is kind of a loner. I think at one point no. That's in the future episode. We'll talk about that later. But he is a little bit of a loner we see because his girlfriend just like dumped him. Now he's really just out in LA.
I will say, like, well, I'll ask you, for a first episode, you know, you already kind of hinted at like his personality being similar to the comic aspect of it. Is there anything from this first episode like that you would have liked to see implemented from his comics that you didn't feel like you saw here, or like something that you would have wanted to see kind of get spotlit?
Actually, I think his engineering background would have been nice to have there. I don't want him to be seen as like dumb or just like only interested or only knowledgeable about acting in movies and being only into that.
Okay.
I do wish that they kind of at least brought that up or whatever, or brought up that he was a part of like the family business and did that kind of stuff with his brother. But whatever.
Okay. That's cool.
But that is definitely one thing I wish they would have brought up. More of his like engineering background. But as far as his personality, I would say, not really. They really kind of really hammered in on his personality, being a little bit sometimes too serious with stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
He gets more bubbly when
Vaughn is
comes
around.
around. No. No.
Hey.
Actually, no. No. Which, like, interesting. He really only becomes, like, more bubbly
With Beast.
Beast is or are the men?
Ain't
I
that
don't want to start no
interesting?
rumors, but I do think that they pretty much nailed his personality. So there's not too
Okay.
much I would have really wanted to add outside of like maybe adding some of his engineering background, so that he has more to offer than just being knowledgeable about acting and movies and stuff. But
Okay. Well, that's
that's about
cool.
it.
Well, I think it's going to be. Well, I mean, pretty sure you've already seen all 8 episodes, but for the people who have not yet,
I have
I
no.
think it's going to continue to be like a very good show that you will enjoy, like when you get to see it.
Absolutely. I
I
think
wish it was a little bit longer though. I
if
won't
you
lie, I was shocked by it being like only in the 30-minute range. I definitely tuned into this thinking it was going to be an hour, 45 minutes at least.
yeah. I think if they were longer episodes, it would have been more expensive because I think they would have done even more probably with his powers.
It probably would have been less
Um,
episodes. It probably would have been 3 episodes.
less, yeah, yeah. The budgets for these things are already astronomical, and then
Which is crazy when most of them
they
look the way they
still
do.
need. Exactly. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Like they are already astronomical, but then they would need a hell of a lot more to even get to what I think we would want them to be.
Mhm.
Now, what would you rate this episode?
Out of 5, 10,
5.
I'd actually give this like a 5 out of 5. I thought it was like a super solid premiere that like got the point across,
Mm-hmm.
introduced you to the character, set it up. It was good. It was fun. I was interested. I liked it a lot. It's good. Great.
Also, too, my own biases aside, obviously, I still give this a 5 out of 5 for a first episode. I think it really sets up
But I feel like,
the tone of the series
yeah.
and the characters and their motivations and like kind of where things are going.
But I also feel like I'm a person who really enjoys like the character work and the character aspect of it as well. I feel like if you are going into this like really kind of expecting that Marvel lamb pan popcorn action type of stuff, yeah, it's probably going to like not hit well with you in the beginning. But just the way like they approach it, the way they talk about the craft, the acting, like you said, how he takes it serious, how he goes through his lines, how you see that like person that he is in that character where I think it's going to make the story that much more rich. And like that's why I really enjoy it. And that's why I think it looks and like is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think if you went into this with the idea that it was going to be a standard superhero beat 'em up show, that is on you because they definitely never
And I think
never marketed it that way. It was never going to be that.
and I think the variety is always needed. Like, yes, we love our beat 'em up action popcorn flicks, but like again, like I think one of the big things about superheroes, even in our comics that we read, is that we enjoy like the life and like how it interacts with their superhero. Like when you are not out saving the world, if it's a slow day and there are no bank robbers and no one's trying to like kidnap the queen or something like that, like what are they doing? Like who are they hanging out with? These ones. Spider-Man, we know he's poor. Like they got to work sometimes. They need jobs, and it's like it is fun to kind of just
He's
see
always
that.
poor.
He's
So, like,
always poor. He says it all the time. So it's like they need jobs. So it's like it's also really interesting to always see the other side of that, and when it's like kind of just that also, because it's like always not just the other.
that's one of the things that's always been my appeal for Wonder Man. Well, I've always really liked him. Was that he was balancing like the superheroics and his own personal life, or like what he wanted to do, his own goals.
Yeah.
Moving to the West Coast was the first time he ever like did anything for himself. Everything before that, he was like following the Zemo's orders and being controlled by Enchantress. Then it was, I'm on the Avengers, but I don't really know what I'm doing over here. Like, I didn't sign up for all this. I just have powers now, so I'm going to be over here. And I don't want to see people die. So, like, I'm going to help them. And then once the Avengers, like, slimmed their roster down and he was basically kicked from the team, he took that time to say, you know what, I'm going to move to LA and pursue acting and do something that I want to do. And I think him kind of balancing that would be great. I personally, for season 2, would love for it to be, now that he is Wonder Man, you know, him balancing the stuff that comes with being Wonder Man and trying to act.
You know, if they do a season 2, I kind of want to see Moon Knight. You remember Moon Knight went through a little period where he moved to LA too, and he was like, his Stephen Grant persona was doing like movies and like had a production company and all that stuff too. So that would be cool to see. Little West Coast Avengers.
I think that would be awesome. They were on the West Coast Avengers together. I think those two actors would be cool to see together.
They would be.
No Tigra. But I think the both of them together would be really cool.
Yeah, agree.
You know, it's also giving like Marvel's Batman, Superman kind of thing there.
Yeah.
But like fun.
Yeah. I like that. I like it a lot. Oh my gosh, I'm really into it now.
It's like Batman and Superman in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But like, I think that'd be fun.
Hot.
You know, Marvel, if you're listening, you know, go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't mind Wonder Man getting that Moon Knight treatment. He stay in the book.
Yeah.
Not even in the book, he stayed with his own.
His own. And it'd be good.
I wouldn't mind Wonder Man getting that.
Maybe he could guest star. Maybe send a little email to Marvel, like, hey, like, why don't we ever see these two guys interact a little bit more? And the MCU does dictate everything.
Does he still have the producer version? Maze Mind?
Yeah.
We'll let that one go.
I mean,
it would let him go.
Well, it's not really like, I was going to say, it's not really like a let go thing. Although Bendis did try to make it do that way. He would like started all of a sudden manifesting like personalities that were Steve, Wolverine, and Iron Man. Like, that's not what it is. Like, it's not just exactly like it's like that. It's not that. Like, he has 3 personalities. Those are just them. Those are just them.
Okay. Which one was the producer?
Stephen Grant. He's like,
he was in the show. Which one was he in the show?
They were all in the show.
The cab driver?
No, that's Jake.
I forget which one. That's Jake.
Jake
so he was the
Jake
one
Lockley.
That was at the museum.
Yeah, he was the British one. Which one had the British accent?
I think that was the one that was the museum like curator.
I did not like that British accent. I actually kind of just like blocked that from my memory. So saying that just like was like, whoa, it all just came running back.
I kind of forgot he had a British accent too. I kind of forgot he had one.
It was just like that just came rushing back. It was like, oh wow, I did not like that show actually.
I didn't think it was that bad because I thought it was intentional.
Yeah, but whatever. Stephen Grant. But like in the comics, he doesn't have all that stuff. But like he was like the millionaire playboy. He started his production company, was starting a show out in LA. This is also when he dated Echo for a brief period in time. Yeah. Well, I'm not even gonna say dated. It was, but again, like this was during the Bendis run, and so like Bendis was doing some crazy stuff during that. So like it's not really something that like I super highly recommend to people to read. But I'm just saying this aspect of him does exist.
I wouldn't be mad at the
duo,
the Wonder Knight link up. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Wonder Knight. Ooh.
Yeah. It's cool, right? I like it.
It's hot.
All right, y'all. So that will be the end of the show. Definitely catch us on all the socials out there at Another Relaunch. You can find me on most social media platforms at UncannyLZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
I mean, you can still find me at Keenan Lance with an underscore at the end, but I don't really think I'm on that many socials anymore. I was like, what are they? But the ones that I'm on, they're there.
Oh, that's right. All right, y'all. We will see y'all next week, and peace out.
Peace.